This is Kathy Biehl of Empowermentunlimited.net with Astro-Insight for the week of March 19th, 2018. We are getting a gigantic shot of adrenaline and then basically being held in place this week as we hit the vernal equinox, spring in the northern hemisphere, fall in the southern. It is a definite and palpable shift in energy, and ultimately we will move on and forward and drastically as a result of the things that are firing up inside of us this week. The first that comes is incredible clarity, knowing realizations about what we value about certain relationships. The week begins with pivotal conversations, pivotal thoughts, heart and mind melding, knowing what you want, communicating in close relationships in a way that brings clarity to what has been a pretty confusing time. So if you've been sensing undercurrents, if you've been acting on vibes or energy but not known clearly on the surface, the week begins with something unmistakable that does, in fact, clear up the fog and show you, yes, this. And your heart may get a glimpse of what it really wants to go after. Better yet, it may get a taste of what it is going after. The season shifts on March 20th, officially the equinox. And now the sun moves into the first sign of the zodiac, Aries, where Mercury and Venus have been waiting, where Uranus at the far end is beginning his last weeks in the sign before ducking out into earthbound Taurus in May. So know that the energies of this week are going to color the next 3 months. The energies of the equinox chart are a background program that will underlie everything that happens. So this Aries life force stoking heart and mind on the same page and really wanting something and having the gumption to go after it, to not merely want, but to pounce, that's an undercurrent. And look at the seeming inability to move forward quite yet with all this energy stoking as the equivalent of a cat that's about to leap. A cat will do this weird little kitty rumble where it crouches down onto the surface and its little rear goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then it leaps. That's where we are this week. Now, why? With all this energy moving into Aries, why is it we're not just leaping forward? Thank Mercury, planet of communication, starting his first retrograde of the year on the 22nd. He'll be retrograde for the rest of the month into May and will be backtracking over the territory that he has covered in the last couple of weeks and giving us, as per usual, multiple opportunities to pick up bits of information, maybe things that we reacted to too precipitously, too quickly, and now we get to find out other stuff that was involved. So there's a picking up loose pieces, picking up dropped threads, going back over old business, clearing up some things, maybe an element of taking some responsibility for our thoughts or actions, just a hunch. Do know that Mercury retrograde in Aries will probably bring a lot of frustration, a lot of hot-headedness, people leaping without even thinking about it. So know that road rage is probably going to be an issue. Unfortunately, just make allowances for that. And also know that split-second reactions, decisions, blurtings, first, may not be real. Second, you may get the opportunity to go back over and repair, rethink, redo. Relationships, money, and those desires and values that are now fused into our mind also are very much at play at the end of the week. The phrase, push comes to shove, comes to mind. There will be a sense of demands for action, demands for change, demands for going deep. Anybody who's in a situation involving triangulation, good luck keeping it quiet from here on out. I do find it interesting that there is an interview scheduled to be aired in the United States on a show called 60 Minutes while this is still going on, involving a porn star who says she had an affair with Trump. I do love astrology. So at the end of the week, into the weekend, pushes us out of our comfort zone, pushes us into claiming what we want, standing up, acting on it, There's an element of personal growth, an element of fearlessness, an element of boldness, an element of just going for something. You may see a lot of action out in the world. You may feel like you're suddenly really, really busy, but remember about Mercury being retrograde and the probability of a good amount of backtracking going on. We're still in a cleanup mode before we zoom really wildly forward. Saturn in Capricorn is still kind of the overlord of everything. The planet of adulting saying, do you really want to do that? What's the most responsible thing you can do for yourself? And then setting up circumstances to nudge you into acting that way. The homing thought of the week, just do it. The song of the week, it's an oldie, Gotta Get Up by Henry Nilsson. And the image of the week is the Red Queen running in place. As always, you'll find more about this at my site, Empowermentunlimited.net, where you can read my forecast for the Pisces new moon that was on St. Patrick's Day. Sign up for my mailing list and book a session with me. Talk to you next week.